I have gotten used to disappointment and not having family. You see, almost every girl I've ever dated, there's been really serious problems with her family, like really serious. As far as her family is full of felons and people who do not at all mind harming other innocent people. It is a problem, you know, because it's so common now that I'm looked at as being crazy for not harming people just to take from them. And it's just bad. It's gotten really, really bad. So with my ex-wife, everything with her family went terrible, both sides of her family. Her mom's side of the family, who her mother had passed, was everyone just defrauding other people, committing fraud. They stole her trust of over $2 million and left her penniless and then called her a spoiled brat and everything, which I can see why they did that. They hate her. She's a bad person too, but they're all the same type of personality. And I just can't be around that. Then her dad's side of the family, her dad turned out to be a pedo rapist, and I turned him in and he went to prison. He went to prison for way below the legal limit, actually, because he was a boomer, the judge was a boomer, and these boomers just really look out for each other. So he should have gotten like the minimum, I think, was 20 years, and I think he only got a year. It was ridiculously low. Um, then they start going after me, targeting me for going after these people. Like it's just it's ridiculous, you know. Especially with boomers. Boomers, they break a lot of laws. They do a lot of terrible, terrible stuff, and then they try and go after other people for those things. It's just really, it's just terrible. But that's what happened with him. And I've learned not to get my hopes up to ever have family because things like that happen constantly. If you have a family, don't take it for granted, you know. Because like I literally have nobody. I've been mistreated by my family so much that every psychologist and every therapist has informed me that due to my empathic nature, I am opening myself to more and more harm with these horrible people. And every single time I talk to someone, they think that there could be healing in the family. Then they hear about just it for a few seconds. They're like, oh my God, no, don't ever, ever, ever allow anyone like that in your life. Oh my God, you know? Then that's what happens every time. People are just shocked. But yeah, I've really learned now, especially when it comes to wanting to be with someone that I can love and be loved in return, that has it has finally sunk in that that is not a reality for me for my life. It's not going to happen. Um, I fell in love with a woman one time, a woman outside the country, and she would have been perfect for me, but I would not have been perfect for her. Not at that time. I had not grown up or learned anything yet. There's a fountain here with blue dye in the water. That's interesting. But yeah, I know that if I ever open myself up to a relationship or anything again, it's like, okay, it's always been toxic. It's always been that person trying to use me and get stuff from me. Um, because I have that empathic nature and everything, I tend to attract narcissistic, abusive people. And if you're empathic, you know what I'm talking about. Like if you're an empath, you know what I'm talking about. So it's gotten to the point where it is actually less stressful for me and I have less anxiety simply not having any relationship, romantic relationship at all. than to even consider it. I have a friend, very intelligent, level minded gentleman in Minnesota. He's a tech genius. I've not heard from him in a while, and recently we've been back in touch. And one thing that he had said was that he's gotten this far in life. He's got a good amount of money and he's got, a good job and he's going to move. This guy's going to be a big deal. This guy's going to become a very wealthy, very successful tech um, businessman. It's clear. And he has avoided relationships. He's avoided relationships because he's always heard of these horror stories today of men, like my situation when my ex-wife was poisoning my food and stuff like that, just being terrible to me, screaming all the time. It has become so common now. Did you know almost half of marriages end in divorce now? How cute. Almost half. I saw the numbers yesterday, and apparently it's now 47%. 47% of marriages. That is that's crazy. And when I look at that, I see all of these people who are married tend to be too afraid to file for divorce despite how abused they are in that relationship or in that marriage. I think, wow, well over half of these marriages are completely unsuccessful. I'm 43 years old. I've lost everything over and over again in my life due to other people. And the last time I lost everything because of the divorce with my ex-wife, she got everything and then complained because everything was not enough for her. She got only a couple $1,000s of debt. That was it. I had tens of thousands of dollars, 80 something $1,000 of debt forgiven in my bankruptcy during my divorce. She didn't even have 10,000. And she found it in her heart after getting all of this stuff in a lavish lifestyle. All the she found she viewed herself as someone who was entitled to just having someone take care of her through her whole life, and that's what she was looking for. She even told me that that's what she was looking for after we got married, and she was sucking the life out of me. And even though that's only that type of person is very rare. I mean, I don't even think that's 1 out of 100. But it makes me so just thinking about a relationship now and it being um related to that, you know what I mean? I cannot never risk a relationship again or getting married again at my age. I've got no kids. I'm too old to have kids now. I don't want to have a child and have him turn 20 when I turn 65. You see what I mean? So it is actually better for me just to have no family and never start a family because it's actually just better for me now. My need and my love for family was what I lived for. That was the point of my life throughout my whole life until I got abused so much by my own family and by my parents and aunts and uncles, to the point where it's just like, I can't, I just can't. There's just so much substance abuse and everything like that, you know. But and it's funny because out here in the Midwest, I remember when this started happening in the 90s with girls in California, they were always acting like guys were flirting with them. It's like, why do you think no one's flirting with you? Out here in the Midwest, women always think I'm flirting with them. even though I'll be 40, I'm 43 and they'll be like 20, you know. And it's like that's, you know, it's because out here it really is flirting. Guys out here, any interaction with a woman is practically flirting. You could be talking to a woman about something strictly a business transaction and they'll say I have a boyfriend. It's like what on like what on earth are you talking about? You know, it's like do you not see how old I am? And it happens all the time. But and it's to the point where I don't even try and make it clearer because I've made it so clear already, and it's just there's no way around it. They're always going to think you're flirting with them because that's the only time guys talk to them or give them attention. There are girls out here. It'll be a cute girl at a gas station. She'll be 16 years old, and old creepy guys will flirt with her all day, every single customer. So there's just no decency out here with men, or at least there's very little, but especially not white males. I don't know. I'm just babbling. I thought I'd throw this out there just cause. Um, yeah, I guess all I was trying to say was, that's why I do not want to ever get in a relationship again.